V101, we are hanging out backstage in the lounge with Tyrese is looking absolutely fantastic. Say hi to Memphis, Tyrese. You know, I think we just really put him in shock because he's like, oh my goodness, you weren't expecting all this today, were you?
I just woke up.
Well, it's some good stuff to wake up to, isn't it? Well, we're in the backstage lounge right now with the B listeners, you guys that won the backstage pass. Enjoy Tyrese this hour. Welcome to the backstage lounge with V101.
Most fans probably wouldn't understand, you know, the movie Baby Boy was my first movie, and you know, I had all of these songs that I had did before I made my acting debut as an actor. And how many of y'all, by the show of hands, be honest, actually went to see Baby Boy while I was in the theaters? While I was in the theaters? So what ended up happening, because I wasn't really an established actor, not even remotely, because it was my first movie. I had my fans, I had my supporters, but you know, they're like, well, I love you as a singer. I'm not going on the weekend to go see you as an actor when I don't even know if you can act. So that was the general consensus. I mean, for y'all to raise y'all hand and say y'all went to see it, I'm actually surprised that many people went. Because a lot of the people that love the movie right now love the movie after they seen it on DVD or they watched it on cable. So I feel like if we ever did Baby Boy again, it would only make sense with the amount of people that actually love the movie. But if you look at the box office receipts, technically the movie bombed in the theaters. And so in the movie studio's eyes, why would we go and make a part 2 for a movie that never made us money from the first place?
What about the Transformers? You gonna do another one of those?
Absolutely. Well, Transformers, the last one did 1,100,000,000 worldwide. You know what I'm saying? Gave me a little beeper money. I was able to pay my beeper money. Started running over my minutes, you know what I'm saying? I had to take care of that.
Hi Tyrese, I love you, sweetheart. Let me just say that first of all. On this album here, I love it. I have it. If you would please sign it for me. I have, yes, please. Are you speaking from personal experiences on this album? Because I can hear so much growth in you on this album, and I can relate to you so much on it.
Yeah, I can relate to. I mean, I can say that I definitely spoke from personal experience. I think the fact that it's been 5 years since I did an album, I've been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? Personally, emotionally, spiritually, I've grown just as a man, just in general. And, you know, I think us as artists, you know, most of us can sing, but I felt like even though it was my frustration with the business of music that stopped me from doing another album, I think it was the best thing that ever happened, because just in general, most recording artists don't have an acting career, don't have a bunch of different careers going at the same time. So they have to drop an album every year and have to be on the road all year, every day, all day, trying to get that money to maintain their lifestyle. Because it's one thing to buy a house, it's another thing to keep it. And so, you know, going back into this album, I didn't do it for the money. I did it because my fans and my supporters have been asking me to do it again. And I wouldn't have did it if I didn't do it independent. Like, I own my own label. And that was just, it was, the timing couldn't have been any better. So it's nothing like knowing that you can actually get in the studio, work as hard as you work on an album, and get out of that vulnerable space of having to pass your music off to the folks at a label and hope that they get behind it, because it's you and 20 other artists at the same label. But you don't have to hope that you're gonna get behind yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna go all out for yourself. I mean, it's me. I mean, I gotta get behind me. Hey, how much is that video? I don't care. Let's get the video done. How much is this? Let's get it done. And so, I mean, but the fans and supporters all across the board, everywhere I go, have been saying that this is the best album I've ever done. And I feel like what y'all are experiencing musically is that freedom of knowing that I can work as hard as I'm doing in the studio to put my best foot forward and not have to deal with the politics and the drama that will come with being at a major label. So that was a long answer, but that's
absolutely.
So Voltron is yours?
Absolutely.
All right.
So open invitation. Is it still #1 on iTunes right now?
Absolutely.
Yes, it is.
Fantastic. We've got one more question for you, Tyrese.
Hi Tyrese, welcome to Memphis. My name is Joya. You said that you've grown spiritually. I follow you on Twitter. Do you come up with your own tweets, or you get inspiration from other people because they're always so inspiring?
Yeah, it hits me and I write it. I mean, this morning, as sleepy as I was at the airport, you know, I went into all of that stuff about marriage and, you know, it's just, I'm very obedient. I don't know where this stuff comes from, but I'm just very in the moment. I may hear a right quick conversation. I may just live with my own thoughts. Like, I think Twitter has allowed me to finally get these thoughts out, because I've been living with these thoughts for years, and until it's time to do an interview, you really don't have any other platform to just get your random thoughts out throughout the day. And so I be trying to get all my spelling right with it. You know, but I love Twitter. I think Twitter has brought me much closer to my fans and my supporters. And it's one thing to say, well, you sexy, you this, you that, but it's another thing to be attracted to these thoughts and feelings and views and perspectives. So it's created a whole nother fan base for me, because now people walk up to me and just say, I don't respect you just as a singer. I respect you as a man and your thoughts and how your outlook on life, and it's changed my life from the way you think. And you know, because it's one thing for people to look up to you, and it's another thing for you to say, well, now that I know you look up to me, I have a problem with your choices and your relationship. Like, are you really dating him, or are you dating somebody that reminds you of your father? Wow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a couple of weeks ago, and so many people walked up to me about these tweets. I was like, you know, I had to say to this girl I was dating, when we get in an argument or start going through something, I just noticed that she was just so overly aggressive and angry. And so it hit me. I was like, you know what? You're not talking to me right now. You're talking to your ex-boyfriend. You're screaming at your father, because you can't be that mad at me about what I did.
On that note, you can't be mad at him. All right, Angela, let's get back into the music. Let's play this cut from Tyrese, and then we'll come back. We're inside the lounge, the backstage lounge, with the V101 listeners. A 5-year period without releasing an album. Is that because you were working on movies at the time? Because I noticed if you're not doing an album, you're doing a movie. And I guess it's like 2000, up until this date, you've done like a movie every year. So do you try to focus on one thing at a time when it comes to movies and doing your albums?
No, to be honest, it's more so when these movie opportunities come, I just take advantage of it. I've done a couple of movies in 1 year. Can we bring the volume down a little bit?
Yeah, we're gonna pull that down.
So, you know, Yeah, I can't focus.
Angela, take that out of program 3 for me real quick. Or we'll turn it down. Leave it in 3, we'll turn it down some. So that might be a little distracting, hearing you sing and then you're talking at the same time, wouldn't it?
It is.
You might start singing.
Yeah, you know, I'll be wanting to finish the song.
Well, we won't be mad, boo. Finish it. Finish it.
Yeah, I think, you know, I got this mentality that we're supposed to take advantage of our America. I think black people in particular, no offense to anybody, but I think black people in particular, because of our history and all of the slave stuff and all of the stuff that went down from way back when, you know, we run around playing the victim all day, every day. It's like, get off the pity potty. We're not slaves now. Let's move on. Let's take advantage of our America. So, you know, it's like you want to sit around and feel sorry for yourself all day, watch me work. I got shit to do.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna say because I'm from the ghetto, I don't deserve certain things. I don't supposed to have access to certain things. And I don't want y'all to look at me and say, oh, it's because you famous that you getting all of these opportunities. It's the hustle.
That's right.
It's the hustle. It's the hustle. I can't tell y'all how many places I've been and how many people I know specifically that want nothing to do with fame. But there's no event, there's no party, there's no private plane, there's no boxing match that these people don't some way, somehow end up being there. I'm like, yo, how do you do it? Like, you talk about hustle, now you want to easily say, oh, it's because you're famous that they give you all of this access. That's a part of it. But when you see somebody who always shows up, who's always in the mix, always hustling, and they're not famous, you got to pay your respects. So that just says you from the streets like me, homie, and we just decided we gonna work our way up to the top and get it done.
And you know what? Speaking of fame, Whitney Houston, I think everybody is just still in shock about her death and how fame. I heard you on Tom Joyner Morning Show, and I saw you on 106 in Park, and you made a profound statement about cherishing and letting our legends and our idols know that we love them while they're here and not until they are gone. And when it comes to fame, Cheryl Lee Ralph on Tom Joyner Morning Show, she said that fame will build you up to tear you down if you cannot handle it in this business. And she says you have to have the right people around you to keep you grounded. Is that how you stay focused and on the right track?
Well, listen, I just can say this because I like to make sure that my response to something so sensitive is respectful as possible.
Right.
But I would say in general, how many people in the business had access to Whitney Houston and never reached out to her and knew she was on drugs and drinking and dealing with everything that she was dealing with? You have plenty of money. You could have put her in rehab. You could have stayed there, made sure you were there to help her or anybody else. Like, okay, so now you're giving speeches. So now you're going to be on the microphone at the funeral talking to her and saying how much you love her while she's there laying in the casket. But how much did you love her to know what she was dealing with and going through and not reach out to her? So ultimately, we can say that that's celebrity specific, or we can just say that in general. I'm in a room full of very powerful looking women. How many people in your family is drinking and on drugs right now? Y'all just like, man, they tripping, they wilding out. I stepped in and saved my mama's life. I did. My mama was drinking for 27 years. My mama's been sober now for 4 years. I stepped in and saved my mama's life. I cut my own mama off cold turkey. Cut her off. I know she loves her baby boy. I'm the last child of 4. I know she loves me. I'm like her favorite. And so I'm going to use that to get you to pay attention to what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut you off, not return your phone calls, not invite you over for holidays and birthdays and do anything special, because if I keep showing up for you every time you ask me to as your son, I'm crippling you. I'm assisting you in your addiction. Because you're saying, I get to still drink, and I still get my son. He's still paying my bills, he's still taking me shopping, he's still doing any and everything I want him to do. So I'm gonna keep drinking, because it's not like my drinking is stopping me from having access to my favorite son.
That's right.
So I'm gonna cut you off,
Tough love.
cold turkey, tough love,
Yes,
because I don't want to be around to witness you kill yourself.
Aye, man.
So I think that's something that all of us are capable of doing. It has nothing to do with fame and popularity. So again, rest in heaven. I thank Whitney Houston over and over for leaving us with the most beautiful music, singing from her heart. She's contributed to our graduations, our weddings, our birthdays, our holidays, proposals, making love, all the above, inspiration. And thank God she left us with her music. But I feel like things could have been different if the people around her, or people that actually claimed they love her and stepped in, would have stepped in to show her love from doing what they had to do to help her to sober up and get in front of that addiction.
All right, we're backstage in the lounge with Tyrese. Powerful words and words of encouragement on just being and doing the right thing. And right now, Tyrese, I'm looking at your brand new single that we're about to drop for the very first time on V101. Tell us about this single, Nothing on You.
Well, you know, it's a long and short story. I basically have been in my share of relationships where you look at a woman and you assume that because she's so sexy, she has the nice body, she's educated or this and that she doesn't have that baggage and those insecurities that have happened from her past relationships. And so it's like, why are you so insecure, but you visually appear to be so secure? And so I found myself having to give these women that I've been with all of this reassurance and reminding them, like, baby, look, if I wanted to be with another woman, I would be. I'm with you because these other women ain't got nothing on you.
All right. From Tyrese, Nothing on You. We're in the backstage lounge with V101.
And wanting to not just have one or two songs that people would feel good about. And you know, us as artists, we sometimes live in a bubble where we got a bunch of, it's like we're like boxers, so we got a bunch of people around us. Come on, champ, you the best. They waiting on you to come back. The game ain't been the same since you left. Well, come on here, champ. Come on. And so, you know, while you're in the studio and you're working on the album, everybody around you, it's not that you got yes men or groupies. I don't look at my team like that. It's just more so like everybody is like fired up and they feel really good about what you're working on, but you hope that it's just not the people around you that feel good about the music. So my experience has been so humbling knowing that listening to y'all talk about Best of Me and Make Love, it's like, that's how we felt about the music while we was making it. It's just like, you hope that when you put it out there that people feel the same way and it's not just the people in your bubble. And it's been the best experience ever, like getting on stage with the album out there, performing and like reading people's lips in the audience, singing the songs, and you just like, damn, we did it.
You speak about your music. What about modeling, Coca-Cola commercials? So of course, you know, that's where you got your stars. So would there be more of that, or?
I mean, I just think certain things shouldn't be duplicated. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you shouldn't wear that outfit next week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, let it be. You hit it out the park today. You did it right. Let's not duplicate that. You know what I'm saying? Let's not try and do Baby Boy again. Let's just let it be. Because you're going to show up and look at Baby Boy 2 and then you're going to be like, it wasn't as good as the first one. It's like, why didn't they just leave it alone? Why are you wearing the same outfit again?
Tyrese. Hi, my name is Sheila Whalum, and I'm here today. I've been married 30 years to my beautiful husband, who's a pastor. But the point is, to keep our marriage alive and all, you know, we still listen to your music and that kind of thing. So I just want you to know I appreciate it.
Hallelujah.
And that has kept our marriage for 30 years.
My brother from another mother. You know what? 30 years. My views to add to a 30-year marriage is not coming from a man that's been married 30 years. I can just say, just pray that the spirit of boredom doesn't kick in. Just pray that the whole familiarity of like, you're no big deal to me because we've been together for so many years. And then it's about keeping the sex alive, keeping the sex brand new, changing up the locations. If y'all been sleeping in them same bed sheets for the last, y'all been sleeping in them same bed for the last 5, 6 years. If y'all been sleeping in that same bed for the last 5, 6 years because it goes with the furniture that's in the house, switch up the bed. Switch up the bed sheets. You're gonna be doing some sexy stuff in that bed, but you sometimes just need to switch the energy up a little bit.
That's right.
Do certain things that's small and inexpensive to change up the energy.
That's right.
You know, something I threw out there when I was in New York, because I think when it comes to Valentine's Day, us men, we try and go above and beyond to make an impression on that special day. But I'm like, you know, there's some ways to do some sexy shit without it being expensive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Are we on the air? I didn't know.
You know what? I think we're going to go back into the music. Angela, you play. And we're going to keep this conversation
y'all got to give me the heads up. Hey, listen, to all of the listeners out there, this is my public apology. Do not find the station. Do not send up no fine up at the station.
Well, we are back on the air. But it's all right. We're back into the music, and then we're
I see. My bad.
We're back in the music. We can continue. Go ahead. Say what you want to say, boo.
So I just think, you know, I'm very inspired by your love. You know, I think just being in a room full of women that may be in a relationship, single or divorced, I think it's people like, you know, you guys that remind us that when you say through thick and thin till death do us apart, there are people that still live their life according to them terms. I think filing for divorces became popular right now.
That's right.
You know, you see all these images in press and media, it's like they're getting the cover of the magazine after they filed for divorce, but while they were together for 5, 6 years, they never got the cover of the magazine. And so the spirit, the devil has been busy. I was married before. And my situation didn't work out because I didn't come up in a household where marriage was actually
popular. That's right.
So I would just say, in general, some of the best advice that a married man gave me, he said, after 15 years of being married, you know what I love the most about my wife? I said, what? He said, I love that I still like her.
That's right.
Because you can be with somebody every day and you have to say, I've been knowing you so many years, I do love you. Of course, I love you, you love me. We've been knowing each other so many years, but I can't stand you. I do not like you. It's like I wake up in the morning, I don't like you. I don't like what you're saying. I don't like your thinking. I don't like your friends. I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like the stuff you're looking at. I don't like you. You irritate and annoy the hell out of me.
Yes.
But yet, we're still together.
Wow. So is like different from friendship?
Like is the friendship.
Like it's the pastor. Okay, I know what you're saying, but I can be in a relationship and it be more of a friendship than a like. Is there shouldn't like balance out the friendship?
Well,
you know what, Pastor Whalen, you know where I'm trying to.
I know what you're getting at too.
What?
Ain't no pastor. I got an answer too.
I just want to hear it from the pastor. I ain't saying you don't know what you're talking about, but I just want to, see if I said it, then he gonna say something.
Go ahead.
A spiritual point of view with relationships. Is like and friendship the same, or do they balance each other out? Because you can be friends in a relationship and not like that person.
The like piece is exactly as he stated it. Friendship might not be like. Friendship might be based on what's best, on the benefits. But what he said is exactly true about the like.
Thank you. So that's what it is, you know what I mean? Like I think love, like, and friendship all goes together. I think that is the marriage. When you're able to say, I like my wife, I love my wife, and my wife is my best friend. That's the best formula you could ever hope and wish for, you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that you should marry your best friend, because sometimes marrying your best friend could go or not go. I just think, you know, there's a certain formula that you should try and go after. And it's like, I like you. We've been friends for many years and we still laugh, we still have fun. Yeah. I think it's about that transparency. I think there's so many, and I think y'all can relate to this 30 years of marriage. There's a lot of undiscovered magicians. You know, and they know how to create the smoke. And they know how to appear to be one thing and not be that. That's right. And you get caught up in the smoke because that's what you see with your eyes. You go see a magician and it's like, this man just made the car disappear. That car ain't disappeared. That's just the way it appears to be in your eyes. And I'm writing a book right now, my second book with Rev Run. I was just with him yesterday, and the book is called Manology. And I talk about this in one of the chapters, and I was like, you know, women are the same way. You know, it's like, it's magician. It's like, no disrespect, but it's like, this ain't my hair. But you think it's my hair.
No disrespect.
These ain't my breasts, but I went and got a great surgeon to get these breasts done, and he did a great job. And so you are attracted to me because these breasts appear to be real. You appear to be a man, and then I find out that you one of those other brothers that's on the low. Yeah. Come on. You appear to be thugged out, but you one of them.
Tell the truth, Tyrese. Tell
so
the truth.
It's like we are deciding to love you, like you, share our heart and our space with you based on who and what you appear to be. So there are undiscovered magicians out here. And so naturally you find yourself being way more hurt after you discover that this man is not who you thought he was, because he was able to convince you otherwise. That makes him as much of a magician as David Copperfield. He just decided, see, but the problem is when the magicians start believing their own tricks. See, you've now convinced yourself that this is who you are.
Yeah, you're writing a song. I hear this.
I mean, listen. I mean, come on, radio personalities. Think about this for a second. How many artists, as rappers, have you interviewed over the years, where when you actually meet them, they up in there joking, laughing, they silly, they like a little happy ass butterfly. And everything about their image is like, oh,
yes, it is. Yes.
Over the top, they thugged out, they got the tattoos all over their face, their arms, and then you meet them, You touch them like the little butter, the little biscuit characters. Soft as cotton. But they've convinced us and they self that they real thugs, they gangster, and they hard.
But then, talking about glamorization and the younger generation seeing exactly what you just talked about. They see the bling. The young men see the bling. They see the cars. They see the nice houses, and they see all of the women that they so-called pull in these videos. So who is to blame for that? I mean,
there's nobody
I know we're trying to.
You love me because of my necklace. I'm gonna take some sex. Let's get it.
But I'm saying this. I'm trying to piggyback on the rappers. They come in, the videos. They hard. But when you see them, they're totally opposite. So they are portraying the wrong things to
that's something that I'm just saying. That's something that they have to deal with. That's something they have to deal with, you know what I'm saying? But my thing is, my whole point is, don't believe most of what you see and what you hear, because you got perception versus reality. That's right. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you showing up in a nice car don't mean you got gas money. Because you got on nice car, you know, because you got on nice clothes doesn't mean you actually don't live with your mama. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you up in the club buying bottles and doing all of this and doing all that, but you really can't afford it. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you're trying to create the smoke. You're trying to create something that doesn't exist, and at some point, it's going to catch up with you. So, you know, ultimately, it's like, I'm not perfect, but when I date a woman and I'm in a relationship with her, I tell her, listen, your sexy can't feed me. You know what I'm saying? Like, your sexy is not gonna know how to be there for me when I'm emotionally going through something and I need a grown-ass woman to step in and hold me down and have my back. So you can have a nice body, you can look sexy, and that's exciting to come home to as a man, but that's not gonna really help me to get through the trenches when I'm going through it. So, you know, it's about just creating that zone and creating that space. And then there's also, most women get hurt. We writing about this too in the book, and I'm being brutally honest. I'm like, well, look, most women don't want a man to cheat on them, but are you taking care of business in the bed?
Right. Okay, we're back live. We're getting down and dirty. When I said
I ain't gonna use no curse words.
Right, grown folks are here.
All the kids, y'all need to turn the radio off. It's grown man season. It's grown man season. We talking about.
We're talking about love. We're talking about life. We're talking about relationships. And Tyrese, V listeners, show them some love because more than we could have ever imagined. We thought you were going to say a couple of things and be gone, but you have sat down backstage in the lounge.
Yes, we are.
We're having a conversation.
I want y'all to know something about me, not from the perspective of a pastor or from the perspective of like some life coach or guru. I feel like at this point in my life, if God forbid something were to happen to me next week, what did you leave people with other than your music? And so I really feel like I have a responsibility to put new thoughts and views and perspectives on people's minds. So I could be here the whole time just trying to sell y'all my album, sell y'all my album. Ultimately, y'all gonna decide to buy my album or not. I can't force nobody to do anything. But what I can say is, you may decide that that man that you at home with has been beating your face in long enough.
Come on.
And so, if we can have a conversation and you can decide self-love is the cure to self-hate.
Yes.
And so you say you love yourself, but anybody who loved himself wouldn't be with that man, wouldn't hang with those friends. You don't like your friends, so why are you still with them? Like, if your life is a nightmare all day, every day while you're awake, those nightmares are going to continue until you sleep.
Come on, man.
I deserve to sleep good at night. I don't care how much money I got. I deserve to sleep good at night. Because I live in a house that may be bigger than yours doesn't mean that them same nightmares aren't happening in that house. So I have a responsibility to my peace. And I decided a long time ago that I no longer wanted to be the victim in my own house. That's it.
All right, y'all give it up for Tyrese. Tyrese Day, and we're gonna let Tyrese go ahead and take some pictures and do some autographs, and then I will come back after this single. So backstage live in the